Hello, Sergeant. How are you? I'm just trying to find something here. All right, so we're gonna be doing some flight sim. We're also gonna be doing some Stormworks. I picked a longer flight so I can actually get into Stormworks a little bit here. I'm trying to see where I need to go with this here. There we go. Wing fold on, water ballast, VR, cockpit, and... Right, tow plane / winch release, toggle wing fold. Shift P is toggle pushback, okay. Alright. That will be fine for now. Alright, let's get the flight planned here. Right, going to Indy. LaGuardia. And it's a real flight, so they should be pretty much landing soon here. I left out of gate 71. Okay. Alright, and then we're going to be going to Indy. Right, high altitude airways. Let's see what they did for their flight. They pretty much went this route here. Alright, that looks to be the route. See what we're taking off in LaGuardia here. Looks like they're heading down to 3-1. Could be taxiing back though. Looks like they're landing 2-2. See if we can find somebody taking off here. Start doing it in Navigraph too. Navigraph tends to tell me what the current weather is, but doesn't mean that's what the game's doing. So let's go ahead and put this in. Alright. Indianapolis is right. The Indy airport's right at the where the raceway is. It's kind of neat. Alright, so let's see what runways they're actually using here. Looks like they're using 3-2, which looks like what the game has. And then let's see what they're using here. Looks like they're departing 3-1, so that looks right. And it looks like 3-2. Alright, let's plan on that. Yeah, he's pulling up to take off. Yep, he's going to Atlanta, so 3-1. All right, let's go LaGuardia 731. That'll work. And then Clang 7 all, and then we're going to be landing, was it 3-2? 3-2. Alright, let's 3-2. Now let's go make sure this isn't wonky and weird. Nope, that works. That works. Alright, good. So let me write that down so we have it. I'm gonna put in the airways this time, or try to. I did some looking to kind of verify how to do it right. The FMS and the ERJ was different. Alright, 3-1. LaGuardia 7. Clang 7 into 3-2. Alright. That's good. Alright, let's go ahead and how's it going there, Alistair? Good to see you. Alright, let's go ahead and the flight number is what? 4933. Alright, and weight and balance, we're gonna need a little bit of fuel here. Let's go 60%, 65 maybe. See how that looks. That's probably good there. All right. And then I think 340. Let me look. 340. 340. All right, good. So I think that's good. Let's go ahead and run that. If I can't get my challenge build wrapped up at some point. So I got a 8-cylinder steam piston in the new submarine, so that's good. Get that kind of going. Redid the superstructure and redid the door and the elevator. Still not happy with the speed. I'm only doing like 14, 15 knots. Let's actually take a picture of that. Let's wait, and I'll take the picture of the plane. Try to get a new picture of the plane. Interesting. That's all right. We'll do that with a thumbnail. All right, let's go ahead and get going here. Alright, cold and dark. This will be a long flight. We'll go ahead and get some Stormworks done during this. Alright. Hydraulics are off. Nose of steering is off. Landing gears down. Spoilers 0. Flaps is 0. ADG handle stowed. Emergency flap lever is stowed. Power is on. Alright, fire tests. Fire test is good. APU and bite, built-in test. SOV valve open, shutoff valve is open, and APU door is open. Built-in test equipment is bite. Alright, spinning that. Spinning the APU up. Let's look at the... I gotta put this in Navigraph so that I can then figure out the airways. I really wish, again, Flightsim. I really wish the Flightsim would make itself a sim and actually like use proper airways. Would be kind of nice. I have to go back and like it's showing me a VFR chart for me to go across, and I'm like, I gotta go then back and fix it. So what was that first waypoint there? I don't think it's actually on the waypoint. It's just doing a heading, and then we're going to Loman. So see if I can do both here at once. Put it in Navigraph. All right. All right, Loman. Right there. All right. Add to route. All right, so there's Loman. And then, let's see, we have Kofax Myroy. So if we look here, we have Kofax Myroy. Where, is that showing on a Victor Airway? No, J152. So that's J152. So we're going J152. So that's going to be what? Harrisburg to Rod, whatever the hell Rod is. Rosewood. So let's see if we're going to Rosewood. Bliss. So I don't think we're going all the way to Rosewood. We're going to Bliss. All right. So let's keep planning. All right, and then we're going to Bliss. Let's type that in. It's not the right one. All right, so I'm trying to check the airway here, where we get off this airway. Christ on a cracker, I can't keep these together. I'm just going to put it on the other screen and work it over there. I was trying to do it so you could see it, but every time I click on the game, it tries to click out of this. So let's see. We're going Lowman, Myroy, JST is Johnstown, Avere. Scroll please to Bliss. Bliss should be on J152. Yep, Bliss is on J152. Okay, that's fine. So that Bliss is good, and that will go after Lowman. All right, then after Bliss, we're getting off of 152, and we're going... Why are we getting off 152 is the question. Yeah, we're getting off 152 for some weird reason. So going from Bliss to Empty. It's the game sucks at flight planning is frankly what it is. Empty. It's switching us over to J110. It's actually all right. Just again, it doesn't show me like it's meant for like arcade players is what the game is meant for. Unfortunately, you know, it used to be a flight sim. I wish they would kind of go back to the roots and be a flight sim again. You know, DQN, which hopefully they will. We'll see. I'm not super. Why is it going to Dayton? Why is it not staying on the airway? Okay, whatever. You know, I really wish they made it so you could flight plan better. Like, there's ways you can use third-party software to then import it, but it's like, I shouldn't have to do this. You're supposed to be a flight sim. Yeah. I guess it's just getting close, so it doesn't want to do it. MIE. Mooney. That's not it. MIE. Muncie. Looks like Muncie, Indiana. Yep, Muncie, Indiana. You know, I just really wish they would make it a sim like it used to be. It used to be a sim, you know? All right. And then arrivals, we're going to be doing the Clang 7, and see, it is off of what? We'll do it off of DQN, off Dayton. All right, and then we'll go ahead and we're going to be doing the ILS 3-2. And we'll just put in final, and I'll change it if need be. All right, so that's all in over on Navigraph. And so that's, I need that so it actually shows me the IFR routing. All right, let's go ahead and gotta get the IRS's line. I'm not gonna bother going realistic on those. All right, AC is good, DC is good, hydraulics coming on 3A. 3A is good. All right, let's go ahead and recirc fans and packs. We've got windshield heat and probes, pasture, no smoking, emergency lights. All right, let's go ahead and start putting our stuff in here. And we are what again? 49.33. Alright, that's good. Alright, we'll execute that. Go ahead, and we're going to be doing... They don't have the LaGuardia 7 on here. It's just a heading, so I'm just going to put in runway 31. Alright, now let's go try to do it through the flight plan. Alright, let me see. I think see if direct DIR does it. This is where it's going to be annoying, is direct. Okay, let's see if I can put in just the leg. Alright, so Loman. I hope this lets me do it. Fucker. Alright, this is going to be annoying. Trying to think how to get the first leg in here. Suck. I'm really trying to put it in properly here. Let's go legs, and we'll put the first one in here. Runway 31 to Loman. Alright, it's got to be this. Alright, Loman. Now let's go to flight plan. So that should give me a direct Loman. Alright, direct Loman. Next is going to be, let me look at Navigraph again, because the game doesn't show me an IFR high chart. I have to use third-party software to do this stuff, which is pretty silly. Alright, so there's Loman right there, and then we're on, if we look here, we're going to be on J152, which is the airway. Yep, J152, and that goes out to Bliss. So J152 Bliss. So J is for jet, 152 is the air route number, and then it's Bliss. And the benefit of doing it this way is it puts all the intermediary legs in there. So we look, it gave me Kofax, Myroy, JST, Avir. So it gave me all those without having to type them in. So normally that's what you're going to be doing, so that it's not, you don't have to do as much. And then once we get past that, let's see what we have here for legs. I gotta look at Navigraph. Again, I gotta go to third-party software to look at this. So we get a direct vector off this. We get a direct, so it's direct to there, and then we get on the arrival. So we're all direct after that. So let's go back and, so let's see, what's our last leg here? J152 to Bliss. And then after Bliss, we're gonna go to empty. Empty. So direct empty. DQN. We don't have to put in DQN. We can go to arrival. We're going to be doing arrival into Indy. We're going to be doing the Clang. Come on, click on it. Clang 7 DQN. ILS 32. All right. Again, that's selected DQ. Execute. Now, when we go back to the flight plan, we should have, as you can see, Clang right there. Alright, that's fine. I don't need to put that in like that. Okay, I gotta get rid of the discontinuity in legs. So we go to legs. And then after empty, we're going to DQN. So I can just grab DQN, put it there, execute. Now we're clean. So if we go back to flight plan, that should have gotten... now you see it goes direct, empty, Clang. There's a discontinuity to the ILS, which is fine. That's this leg here. I expect them to give me vectors. If I expect them to give me vectors, I really don't want to go somewhere automatically. I'll expect them to give me vectors, and if they don't, I can then just stitch it together. So that's good. All right, performance, let's go ahead and check that out. Let's go 78 passengers. Let's set the payload in the sim 12,821. 78 packs. I think the actual airplane only holds 76 because they have a first class configuration in there, but I just press that over button, it gives me full. And then we're at flight level 340. VNAV setup, target speed as 290.74 speed. That's all good, that's all good. All right, we're good there. We can go to menu, we can pick the window we want in airports. So we'll go back to flight plan, that looks good. We have runway 31 in there. We'll go to flight plan here. We'll make sure that's all copied and completed. That's good. All right, good. So that's in. IRS is all aligned. That's fine. Let's go ahead and set landing elevation, which is just 300 feet above field elevation here, which is only like 21 feet, 12 to 21 feet, something like that. I can't even remember. All right, we'll just quickly go through. I'm not going to do some of this stuff because I don't need to. Right, passenger signs on, landing elevation is set. Altimeters, grab ATIS. How's it going there, Miles World? Good to see you. No, this is the Flightsim 2020. Good to see you, Miles. I haven't seen you in a while. Sorry if it's been a little while since you checked in. Yeah, it's been about 12 minutes. Sorry about that, just had my head down. 2954.
Landing and departing runway 31.
2959. 2959. I was gonna say that's low, man.
Back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact UF Kilo.
Kilo. That's low, man. That's real low pressure. We have there's storms in the area, so that wouldn't surprise me. 2959. $2959. All right, let's grab clearance.
Clearance delivery Endeavor 49er Tree ready to copy IFR clearance to Indianapolis.
Endeavor 49er Tree is cleared to Indianapolis Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 31 climb and maintain 8,000 feet.
1617.
Departure frequency is 120.4 squawk 1617.
Endeavor 49er Tree cleared to Indianapolis Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 31 climb and maintain 8,000 feet. Departure on 120.4 squawk 1617.
Endeavor 49er Tree read that correct. Contact ground on 127.675. Good day.
On behalf of the captain and crew, welcome aboard this flight. We hope you enjoy flying with us. Before takeoff, we would like to encourage all passengers to watch our cabin.
I'm going to try something with pushback 6.8.
Heavy request taxi to the gate.
6.8 on trims.
Delta 2465 heavy taxi to gate 58 via taxiway Delta Alpha
6.8. Okay, good.
Runway 4 Echo Alpha.
All right, we are all set. Let's go ahead and run checklists here. So before we start, passenger signs are on, landing elevation set. 2-9er, 5-9er, within 75 feet of field elevation. FMS set, IRS set, radios and nav aids set. Takeoff briefing will be done right now. All right, let's go ahead. I'll bring up the brief here. So let's go airport information here. Taking off runway 31, we have 7,002 feet of runway. We will be going runway heading. I'll brief the departure in a second. Any issues before 80 knots, we'll stop on the runway. Anything after 80 knots, we'll only stop for critical events. Anything after V1, we're going to go ahead and take in the air. We'll plan to come back probably right traffic for either runway 22 or 31, whatever is quickest. All right, Clank 7, LaGuardia 7's just runway heading, and then they'll turn us on course. So that's it. That is the brief. All right, good. Keep this up for taxi. All right, good. All right, the brief is complete. All right, let's go ahead and push. I'm going to try doing it with the keybind, so track IR is coming on. Let's get this. Let me get track IR straightened out here.
Roger, Delta 2465 heavy.
All right, there we go. Let's try doing the shift P. All right, here it goes. I can also set heading that I want with this tug. I think it's plus and minus, but this at least lets me stop it too. So, all right, let's go to aircraft. So really, the way that LaGuardia was when I was there, you would, the ramps were controlled by the company. They weren't controlled by ATC. So, all right, spin a one. So you would call ramp control to push. You wouldn't be calling ground. Some airports you do call ground because you're being actively pushed out into ground's area. There's often a a mark on the ground that will tell you when you switch from being on the ramp to being in the controlled area. So, for example, you can move around the ramp without talking to ground in certain airports. This might be the line right here. We'll have to see when we come up on it. I don't know if they always have it pasted. Some of the airports do, some don't. Right, there we go. Alright, we're taking off right here. We're going to spin both engines. Alright, Shift P will stop us. Alright, that's much more convenient knowing the keybind now. Alright, all those messages are to do with one engine being up. Alright, runway heading is 314. So I'm still watching the engine start, but 314 in the heading.
Ladies and gentlemen, please pay attention as we display the safety features and procedures of the aircraft in case of an emergency.
Alright, 314. Alright, one is up, spinning two.
With your seatbelts fastened and your seats in the upright position. In case of a drop in cabin pressure, breathing masks will drop from the ceiling and should be placed over your head. If there is smoke in the cabin during the evacuation of the aircraft, the walkway emergency lights will display to the exits, which are located here and here. In case of an extreme emergency landing, you will be instructed to get into the brace position.
Ground Brickyard 5739 er Heavy requesting pushback.
With your hands over your head.
Brickyard 5739 er Heavy pushback request accepted.
All electronic devices. We thank you for paying attention during this brief presentation.
So when you're starting engines, the two of you are pretty much focused on the engines because you want to watch for hung starts, hot starts. So, two's up. Alright, so we're going to go to AC. AC is being covered by both engines. DC is being covered by the engines. Hydraulics, let's put those on auto. Hydraulics are good. Alright, flight controls. Alright, flight controls are free and correct. Nose wheel steering's coming on. Alright, let's go ahead and run the after start, and we'll shut down the AP. Alright, generators auto, electrics check, bleed valves are auto, packs are on, APU is off, anti-ice is off, nose wheel steering is on, after start checklist complete.
5739 er Heavy request to end pushback received.
Ground Endeavour 49er Tree with Kilo ready to taxi IFR.
Endeavour 49er Tree taxi to and hold short of runway tree 1 via taxiway Zulu. Contact tower on 118.7 when ready. Ground Brickyard 5739 er Heavy with Kilo
Got a
ready
quick
to
taxi
taxi
here.
IFR.
We'll run the list. We're all set with the list.
Heavy taxi to and hold short of runway tree 1 using taxiway Zulu. Contact tower on 118.7 when ready.
We'll see if there's a line here. Sometimes the game shows, sometimes it doesn't. This here is the channel for the actual ground vehicles. So they stay in that lane. Yeah, I don't see a line for the ramp, but our ramps, when we were down there, used to all be controlled by the
Taxi to
by
hold
company.
short runway tree
Company
1
would
via
control
taxiway
the
Zulu
ramps.
Endeavour 49er Tree.
Right, we probably have pretty much a minute on the engines. We'd want to make sure we have a minute on that, especially the right engine. So we should be good.
Tower Endeavour 49er Tree ready for departure runway Tree 1
I
IFR
gotta
to
put in
Indianapolis.
speeds here real quick. I always
Endeavour
forget to do that.
49er Tree line up and wait.
Alright, position and hold.
Line up and wait Endeavour 49er Tree.
Alright, lights and strobes are on. Fuel crossflows, manual flight attendant is advised. Transponder is on. Oh, that's not transponder. Transponder is on. CAS is checked. We have takeoff config okay. For takeoff checklist complete.
Endeavour 49er Tree altimeter 29er.59er wind 28 tree at 15. Cleared for takeoff runway tree 1.
Lift takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff runway tree 1
Thrust
Endeavour 49
set.
or tree.
Airspeed's alive. So it feels like I got a little right wind. Put a little aileron to it. 80 knots.
Tower Brickyard 57 tree 9er heavy at runway tree 1 ready for departure IFR to Boston. Brickyard 57 tree 9er
V1.
heavy line up and wait.
Rotate. Positive rate. That's actually a left crosswind. Took out the crosswind correction when we were on our way up. It felt like the flight director not on. The flight director not on. There we go. Speed. Heading. Oh, I didn't press Togo.
New York departure on 120.4. Good day.
Did not press Togo.
120 for Endeavour 49 or tree.
Just hand
Goodbye.
flying still.
Brickyard 57
Alright,
tree
speed
9er
200.
heavy altimeter 29.59er wing 2-way tree at 15. Cleared for takeoff runway tree 1.
So the flight director tells me where to put the airplane to accomplish what I want to accomplish here.
New York departure Endeavour 49 or
So I got
tree
our
is
nose
passing
down just a little bit to
2,100
speed up a
feet,
little bit.
climbing 8,000 feet.
Endeavour 49er tree New York departure altimeter 29er
Alright, autopilot's coming on.
radar contact continue. Endeavour 49er tree traffic is 6 o'clock 3 miles
I saw
at
him.
300 feet
Oh, he's
Airbus
behind me. I saw
A20N.
him go by.
Report them in sight.
Endeavour 49 or tree have the Airbus A20N in sight.
New York departure Brickyard 57 tree 9er heavy is at
Alright, fuel cross flow is auto, bleeds and APU are set, thrust reversers are off, CAS is checked, climb temp is complete.
29.59er radar contact continue.
I'll take track IR off,
Endeavour 49er tree climb and maintain flight level 180.
180.
Brickyard 57 tree 9er heavy traffic is 12 o'clock 3 miles at 5,500 feet. Report them in sight.
180.
Climb and maintain flight level 180 Endeavour 49 or
And
tree.
speed it up.
Brickyard 57 tree 9er heavy have the insight.
We're waiting for him to give us a turn on course here. And it'll be go direct Loman. So we have Loman in there, but we're going to want to go direct Loman to get it to go straight to it. Or else it will try to come back and it will try to follow this line. We won't want to do that. We want to go straight to it. Yeah, we're in the IMC here. We can log it. Ready to go on course here.
Endeavour 49er tree contact New York Center on
Probably the next
121.125.
21.25.
121.125 Endeavour 49 or tree. Goodbye. New York
Here
Center
we'll get
Endeavour
the
49 or
likely
tree
turn on
is
course.
at 9,100 feet, climbing flight level 180.
Endeavour 49er tree New York Center altimeter 29.60.
Turn the
radar
heading to
contact
Loman.
continue to Loman.
Okay.
Endeavour 49er tree contact New
350.
York
I'll
Center
go
on
direct.
13.15.
Loman. Execute. Nav. And do the handoff.
133.15 Endeavour 49 or tree. Goodbye. New York Center Endeavour 49 or tree is passing 10,800 feet, climbing flight level 180.
Endeavour 49er tree New York Center altimeter 29.60 radar contact continue to Loman.
Loman. I'll show you the weather here. So there's a little bit of weather going through here.
New York Center Southwest 248 tree heavy is passing 5,400 feet, descending 3,000 feet.
You can see here,
Southwest 248 tree heavy New York Center altimeter 29.60.
a little bit of a system moving across here. it's above us, pretty clear all the way into Indy. Little bit of a system there. So I've got all the. So I might do a tutorial on nuclear power at some point in Stormworks. You know, pretty much it ties right into steam. It's just a method of steam production, and then you can use pistons and turbines. The stuff the same. You know, I can see where a lot of people would have issues with, you know, any of that steam stuff, and so many people, again, they see a problem and they don't necessarily think of what is actually causing the problem. They get superficially plausible explanations. So, for example, you know, like when I was doing the steam tutorials, you'd see people be like, oh, for no explicable reason, my engine is losing power, steam's broken, or something to that effect. And it wasn't that. What they were doing is they were overheating their condenser, and they can't condense water, and they were running out of water. 320. You know, and so the same thing what can happen with steam is if you run it too hot, you're going to overheat your condenser, and you're not going to be able to condense. You know, so it's people kind of not putting the properly attributing things. So, for example, like I've got in my nuclear setup here, I'll do in the video, is it's set up where I control both the boiler temperature and I control the reactor temperature. Because if you get things too hot, you're going to lose steam pressure. You're not going to be able to condense. You're not going to be able to put the water back in the system. You know, and so that's where a lot of people fall down. 12?
Endeavour 49er tree traffic alert. 9 o'clock, less than 1 mile flight level 205 Airbus A20N.
Must have just went by.
Report them in sight.
There he is, right there.
126.7.
How is that? How is he at 12? There was no time was he at 12. Because I looked at 12, then he says he's at 9. I assume he was going the opposite direction.
300 feet, climbing flight level 230. Airbus November 12 Mike Whiskey New York Center altimeter 29.62 radar contact. Continue.
Endeavour 49er tree traffic.
Yeah, I answered Miles' question about this being 2024, but you know, I'm interested in see 2024. The big thing for me is I really want them to make it a better simulator. That's what I want. Yeah, it's not terrible, but like imagine if you were trying to learn this stuff, like if you're trying to learn to be a pilot. Like what I used to do when I was learning to be a pilot, I would go on Flightsim, and I would run all my instrument approaches, and I did it to help me out with instrument flying, because you're paying hundreds of dollars an hour to go and fly with an instructor. And you have to both handle the airplane and you have to be able to do all the instrument stuff. So you get overwhelmed, especially when you're a newer pilot. And so it was free for me to go down to the sim lab, and I would sit on a. They would have like yokes and like all the instrumentation out, like you can see you can buy for a flight sim. And I would fly the Frasca, and it was free. And one thing you could do is you could do an overhead view of your track on the ground. And I would go run the instrument approaches one after the other, and I'd just keep repeating them. And I would watch my track, and I would look at the plate, and I would make sure they looked the same, and that helped me. Like, VOR, ILS, I never had an issue with. It was ADF, which ADF is the old school. That's the most challenging one. And with ADF, like conceptually, it didn't make sense to me until I started doing the flight sim. And, you know, I kind of think that sucks that they make flight sim kind of wonky now, where it's like a little bit leaning too much towards the arcadey player. And so it makes it hard if you want to actually like learn the systems and learn how to, say, do instrument flying, if the game is kind of screwed up and it's not doing it right, you know? Kind of my 2 cents. So I hope, you know, 2024, like they added, you can go on safaris and Flight Sim 2024 and take pictures of rhinos, and I have no problem with that as long as they didn't, you know, it's not at the expense of it being a proper simulator. If it comes out and it's not a proper simulator, I think they wasted time on all these elephants of bullshit. But, you know, again, you kind of talking like with Stormworks is, you know, as much as I hate that shit, I need to understand that, you know, I do understand that the game's not just for me. And in order for them to have the game be a success and be able to keep making it, they need enough players. And so you make it too hardcore, you alienate all those people, you know, who also help pay for the game. So you kind of need those transient arcadey players to help fund the game. You know, so I don't give them too much crap for that.
Blue Streak 5180, contact New York Center on 118.975. Good day. Going to 118.975 Blue Streak 5180.
We're a little bit heavy, that's why we're only climbing at 1,800 feet per minute. We're reasonably heavy here.
Flightsim 651 Heavy, your tree 7 miles west. Climb and maintain 13,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 19er approach via Strad transition. Cleared to Strad. Delta 9er 88 Heavy, contact
Try to
New York
finish up
Center
my
on
build for
124.625.
Alistair's challenge.
Good day. Climb and maintain 13,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 19er approach via Strad transition. Cleared to Strad. Flightsim 651 Heavy. Climb and maintain 4,000 feet. Brickyard tree 684 Heavy. .625 Delta 9er 88 Heavy. Goodbye. Endeavor 49er tree contact New York Center on 124.625.
124.6 and a quarter. See you.
Going to 124.625 Endeavor 49er tree. New York Center Endeavor 49er tree is passing flight level 295, climbing flight level 320.
United 1571 Heavy, contact New York Center on 133.15. Good day. Endeavor 49er tree, New York Center radar contact, continue to Lawman.
Lawman. Long arm of the lawman.
Going to 133.15, United 1571 Heavy. Endeavor 49er tree, climb and maintain flight level 340.
340 is the final.
Climb and maintain flight level 340 Endeavor 49er tree.
340.
Center Blue Streak 5180 is at flight level 260, climbing flight level 300. Blue Streak 5180, New York Center radar contact, continue. Generic 2 Hotel Foxtrot, you are 22 miles west. Descend and maintain 2,400 feet. Expect vectors visual runway 23 approach. Descend and maintain 2,400 feet. Expect vectors visual runway 23 approach generic 2 Hotel Foxtrot. Generic 2 Hotel Foxtrot, contact Philadelphia approach on 1.
Yeah, I haven't been paying attention to it. The only things I really had left for your challenge, I tried to hammer it out fast,
New York Center
and then I just need to clean it up. So, like, the build is pretty much done. I might screw around with trying to get it go a little bit faster, but I don't really care if it's super fast. And then I did a little bit of decorating the other night. Pretty much need to finish decorating. But decorating isn't really my favorite thing to do, so
Goodbye.
But for the most part, so it needs some cockpit work. I did a little bit of decorating the back.
82 heavy contact, New York Center.
Need to segment the rear a little bit, and then
Good day.
and then I should be pretty much done with it. You know, workshop page. I pretty much copy most of my other workshop page and then just customize it for that build, which I think is a good way to do it because I'm not a huge fan of workshop page is not a ton of fun, but if you already have a template, I pretty much just copy it over and then it's just trading out pictures from Imager and rewriting blurbs, and it's a lot easier than having to reformat or completely start fresh on the formatting of it. That's 330 for 340.
Center Cessna November 219er Charlie Mike is at flight level 260, climbing flight level tree 10. Cessna November 219er Charlie Mike New York Center, radar contact continue.
Let's see if we're going to eventually overspeed. We may not at 340. So when you're at a lower altitude, you tend to you can overspeed because you have the engine performance. We won't, sometimes when you get up to cruise, you're not going to have the engine performance. You're heavy, you're in thin air, so the deck angle, your nose is tipped up more, and so you're going to be draggier. You're also, the engines are pushing through less dense air, so you don't have as much thrust. And so even though, we're not at full thrust, we're at climb thrust, but we can sit at climb thrust indefinitely. And then, we may never overspeed. It's you can see, likely we're not going to overspeed. If you look, we're pretty much looks like we're balanced out at around, 0.14, maybe we'll go up to 0.815. So, and we've got till about 290 something knots, 299, 98 knots, something like that, to overspeed. The likelihood that we overspeed is probably slim to none. But this is good at higher altitudes. You can see the relationship between Mach and indicated airspeed. So the airplane, if we look here at where is it? VMO. V is velocity max. M is max operating. So from 28,000 feet to 31,000 feet, 400, we can go 315 knots. Where's VMO? VMO, do we have a VMO for higher than that? Not really. Once you get above that, it's all Mach. So if you look at your max Mach for around there, it's 0.85. So the speed's 315 and 0.85. And so you can see, as the higher we go, the red tape's going to come down and indicated airspeed's going to go down, but Mach is going to go up, essentially. Because what's going to happen is the airplane can take the indicated airspeed. It could take, what's the VMO, what's the max VMO? Max VMO at a lower altitude is 335 knots. So at a lower altitude, you could get a max of 335 knots before you start damaging, say, doors and stuff on the airplane.
Endeavour 49er tree. Contact New York Center on 132.5. Good day.
And because you're at a lower altitude, the likelihood of you hitting that Mach is not going to happen. As you get up at a higher altitude, you're going to hit your Mach before you hit your indicated airspeed. So the red tape comes in, whatever the limit is. If the indicated airspeed is... if the Mach is higher, it's going to show the red at the indicated airspeed.
New York
If
Center,
the if the Mach is lower, it's going to bring the red down. So that's your limiting factor, either Mach or indicated airspeed. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody. Holy shit, we got 112 knot headwind. Look at that. Ugh. We got 112 knot headwind. And you can kind of tell, I already shut it down, but if you notice that weather system we had coming in, it's probably a westerly system that's coming east is what it looks like. So that stuff came in from the west. So all that storm was blowing in at 112 knots at this altitude. Which likely there's not much moisture up here. Like we're at negative 21 degrees Celsius. We're cold right now. And there's no moisture up here, so we don't have to worry about icing. Like, there's no real chance of icing here. Because in order to have ice, you need a low temperature below, 0 C. Or around 0 C. You can get certain conditions where you might get it coming on a little bit higher, but because of pressure. But you need it below 0 C, and you also need moisture. And there's no moisture here. The moisture is in these clouds. So those clouds are a good, I don't know, 10,000 feet below us. Probably lower than that. And so, no, they're probably right around 10,000. Maybe lower than that. And so, like, if we went through the clouds and we were at this temperature, likely we'd ice. There's very little chance we ice up here. Like, yeah, there's very little chance. You could get stratus clouds that are up here with a little bit of moisture, but likely it's going to evaporate so fast because the air's so dry up here. Now you must put dualies on. Let me see what the time is. I don't know if I buy this hour. Let me go ahead. I think, did I boot Stormworks? I did. All right. Get that going. So I need to work at the cockpit. A little bit of decorating work, a little bit of engine room work. Not a huge fan of the color in the engine rooms, or in the cargo room. Might change that. I don't want to work on it too much. I'm kind of still not super feeling Stormworks, and I'm kind of working on my sub too a little bit. If they'd ship my laptop, so I'd really like. Oh, took all of 10 seconds for the game to load at 90%. That's with running 2 games, though. Oh, I didn't update the standby. I gotta update the videos. I didn't do any of that. I didn't update any of that stuff. I gotta do that. I jumped right on and started doing stuff. I gotta put in, get all the videos set up. I didn't put thumbnails. I didn't fix titles. I didn't do any of that. Surprised nobody complained. There's something missing. Could do this first. Yeah, I didn't work on that at all. Huh. Might as well just do the whole thing here. Let's see. Make sure did I check in? I think they changed my frequency. They will probably be in this frequency for a while. Kind of in the middle of nowhere, so people get offended when you say that about their home place, but it's like We would be talking to somebody if there was a lot to talk about. Kind of a dead area where there's not a lot of air traffic, so it's like middle of nowhere in regards to air traffic. Like, there's a reason why every 5 seconds you talk to somebody in Boston Center, New York Center, you know, Washington Center, Cleveland Center. There's a reason why you're constantly talking the entire time, is because it's busy airspace. When you get to non-busy airspace, not a lot of airplanes, not a lot of talking. That's something that, especially like the people who live in that area, it's kind of an American. Like the people who live in the rural areas between the cities get all pissy when people call it flyover country. I understand why they do, but it's, you know, it's if you're flying from Boston to Chicago, you're flying over these more rural areas, and they take it as a, you know, people will use it as a pejorative too, but it's like, you know, you're flying from huge population centers to huge population centers over low population centers, and they take it as some sort of value judgment. It's just like, alright, there we go. I forgot to set up the video. Bought a new laptop so that I should be here hopefully tomorrow. Game a little on the road. We still have yet to get to Lowman. We've been on Lowman this entire time. Lowman is a like 150-mile long leg going to Lowman. I'm curious where
New York Center, generic November 700 Delta Hotel is passing 12,500 feet, descending 3,300 feet. Generic November 700 Delta Hotel, New York Center, altimeter 29.76 radar contact, continue to Papa Sierra Bravo. Endeavor 49er tree, contact New York Center on 132.2. Good day.
132.2 Endeavor 49er tree. Goodbye. New York Center, Endeavor 49er tree, flight level 340.
Endeavor 49er tree, New York Center radar contact, continue to Lawman.
Yeah, Rasmus has some cool new trucks coming out. Bunch of cool
you
builds everybody's making.
West. Climb and maintain 7,400 feet. Expect vectors visual runway 31 approach.
Woke up way too early today. I woke up at like 3:50.
Climb and maintain 7,400 feet. Expect vectors visual runway 31 approach exit 32.
Alright, let's go ahead and I'll look at some. Let me read chat real quick. Alright, let's do a little bit of stormy workings here. That's, when you're in cruise, it's the time to do this. Alright, so this is the interior work I've got done so far. I got some cabinets which will have rescue supplies. And I don't think I want to backsplash this here. Let's go like this. Yeah, let's do that. I think I'm going to cut this window. Down to a 2-banger. Okay. Then we can do that, I think's better. Yeah, that's better. Like that. Okay. And then I think what I'm going to do is extend a wall here. So let's do that. You in the way? No, you're not. All right, good. So we'll segment this. All right, beautiful, beauteous, beauteous. One thing I didn't want to color. Let's do this. Come on, give it to me. Give me the color, man. Come on, just let me paint that. Oh, Christ. I gotta move this. Paint it. Still fucking paint it. Come on. Will you paint the fucking thing? Jesus Christ. Ugh. Get annoying. We'll do it this side by the ladder. Alright. It segments that nicely, and then I can put in, I want to put in the med bed and everything in here. Put these on top for now. The other reason I'm not building it in the hangar, in the Prinite base, is it just gives me more space. I can do this here now.
Endeavor 49er tree. Contact New York Center on 134.8.
348.
Good day.
Endeavor. 4933 C.
Going to 1 tree for decimal 8 Endeavor 49er tree.
Violet and Loman. I gotta see where Loman is.
New York Center Endeavor 49er tree flight level 340.
Endeavor 49er tree New York Center radar contact. Continue to Colfax.
Newville. Okay, like I know where Newville is. Lensburg, Pennsylvania. Over Pennsylvania. Indy's cool though. How's it going there? Trippa, good to see you. So Trippa, I got my so my sub is still it's you know, it speeds up, but I've got an 8-cylinder in there and I'm doing like sub 20 knots. Sub 20 knots. The color, thanks. Gotta figure it out why it's the, my whole thought is I think that propeller is just absolutely, that's a big propeller on that. Can you like give me the right, fuck, I did bucket, I didn't mean to do bucket. Alright, let's do that. That propeller is kind of big. I'm getting good performance. I'm at 60 PSI, or 60 PSI, 60 atmospheres.
Endeavor 49er tree contact Cleveland Center on 121.2. Good day.
Okay, I'll show you the sub in a second here.
Going to 121.2 Endeavor 49er tree.
Yep, sub 20 and a sub.
Cleveland Center Endeavor 49er tree flight level 340.
Go ahead and save this real
Endeavor
quick.
49er tree Cleveland Center radar contact. Continue to Colfax.
Alright. Show you the sub. Did a little work on the sub. So I got an 8-cylinder in there. I'm making good steam. I got 60 atmospheres of steam. Cool enough, fine. Like I ran it literally for hours. Maintains pressure, no problem. So new superstructure on there. Kind of streamlined it a little bit. Let's get the nuke started. Nuke takes some time to get started, so I want to get that going. Alright, so we got the system more automated now. So for example, I've got a microcontroller that controls the boiler and the I'm gonna probably enter in for now. I don't know if this still needs to be connected at 350 and then yeah. 150. So I got the temperatures figured out. I'm getting a good 60 atmospheres on the inflow side, no problem. I don't know what the reasonable out pressure is, but I had an out pressure of like 25, so it's a little bit of an inefficient push out. But I've got a huge gear ratio on there. It's pretty irrelevant. All it does is change the piston speed, but like this propeller is huge and requires a lot of power to turn this big propeller, because this is the biggest propeller in the game, this one here. This is the largest variable pitch propeller, so let that heat up and cook for a little bit. I'll show you the door while I'm here. Oh shit, sorry guys. Let me check this. Flywheel, yeah, I might have to put a flywheel on there. Okay. Let's see. That's the door, I think. Hardpoint release. Yep, so there's the cover door. The elevator. I forgot I didn't put that negative balls, so this is going to be stuck open. But, colors for the void and the condenser line. I've tried pumping the other side. Well, I have no problem with pressure. I have no problem with power. It's just an enormous propeller. The propeller's just huge. You know, and it's doing it reasonably efficiently. With this 8-cylinder, I've been able to get, I think I was up to 2,700 S-watts. Yeah, I did 2,700 S-watts with this setup. See where we're at. We're almost spinning. Where are we at here, temp-wise? I'll drop it down to 300 here. Again, like, you know, you get a lot of people thinking you want things super, super hot. You don't. You start ruining your condensing at that point. It's like, to get this up to a good 60, you know, I have a pretty easy 60. Watch the torque when this thing starts up. Watch what happens to the body of the submarine. The propeller wants to go one way. The sub body wants to go the other. Watch what happens. I'll go outside so you can see it. Watch the torque on this. The propeller starts.
Endeavor 49er tree, contact Cleveland Center on 124.4. Good day.
Starts to torque these. See the torque? That's the torque from the propeller rotating the submarine until it catches up.
124.
That's how much torque is going through there.
Good Goodbye.
torques the entire submarine. That's like when you see a semi-truck take off from a stoplight and it picks the left side up. The torque is twisting the frame of the truck.
Endeavour 49er Tree Cleveland Center radar contact. Continue to Juliet Sierra Tango. Endeavour 49er Tree contact Cleveland Center on 128.45. Good day.
Now we're getting into Cleveland Center, so we're going to be swapping all off.
Going to 128.45 Endeavour 49er Tree. Cleveland Center Endeavour 49er Tree flight level 340.
Endeavour 49er Tree Cleveland Center radar contact. Continue to Juliet Sierra Tango.
Look at the torque it's putting off. It's torquing the body. It does eventually flatten out, but that's how much torque's going through this thing. It's torquing the body. The sub. That's how much torque is going through this. See it starting to level out? Insane amount of torque. So we're doing, let's say 6.8 meters per second. So 13 knots. That's how much torque we're dealing with here. It's a lot of friggin' torque. So this should build up to, let me check the temps. We're a little bit hot. So I gotta down this a little bit. So one thing too is, I only want this about 100, maybe I want it a little bit hotter. Let me play with this a little bit. So currently we're around 150. Let me play with this. I want to get this right up on 60. So we're around 54. This will eventually go out easily out to 59.99 atmospheres. So that's about 56 atmospheres right there. Just run it a little bit hotter there. Let's go up more. I want to try to get that water down and see. I'm just playing with this to try to get the steam value a little bit higher. If the temp goes up, the water value will go down, the steam will increase. So we're close to maxed out there at 50, 60 is max. But we're around 56. All right, let's read some chat here. Hi, CBM. No. What's the flow rate on the steam line? Let's see. It's not reading out of this. I've just got pressure. I'm just running it by pressure. Let me see what the input line is on this. This could be a problem right here. Why is this valve not going?
Cleveland Center, Dover, November 218 Tango Golf.
Okay, I got a problem here. This valve's not running.
Dover, November 218 Tango Golf.
Huh, see this valve? This valve's not running. This could be a problem here. See this valve? It's not doing anything. This valve's good. That valve's good. That valve is good. Valve is good. Valve is good. So I got a bad valve. I might have to fix that. I got a bad valve. Not that that's, you know, causing everything, but... So it jumps up to like 198 liters per second, it looks like, as it valves off. Check all these valves, make sure everything's hooked. So this one is always true, so something is wrong with this valve. This valve should be oscillating. This valve's fucked up. Alright, I got a problem with this first cylinder. This first piston. Interesting. I gotta look at that. What is up with that? What is up with that? Oh, this one's got unplugged. That's why. Okay. Right there. Where are we at? What are we running off of? Piston position. Piston position. That one got disconnected somehow. Alright, so that fixes that problem. Alright, let's read some chat here. Well, this is also, it's also pretty heavy. It's 90,000 mass. So, like, are you doing a flywheel glitch, or are you just doing a flywheel? And, like, how are you doing this flywheel? Like, just adding the flywheel in for shock value so that it doesn't shock out? Is that what you're doing? Gotta see where I could add the flywheel here. I'd have to put it in this segment here. I have to put clutches on them too, which is gross. Grab the wrong one, let's see. So what do? Just run the clutch 100% on the flywheel, Tripper? Or do I need it? Do I need a clutch on this flywheel? I don't know if I do. I can't remember. I know for the bigger ones you do because it's just the shape is different. Let me read chat real quick. Are both RPS Are both RPS outputs in the piston engines connected? What do you mean? Both RPS outputs in the pistons. The pistons are all, they're one set of pistons. They're all segmented out for 8 cylinders. It's one bank. Yeah, I need the clutches. I thought I did. Okay, yep. I thought I needed the clutches. Because it doesn't have the same shape. It's not a pipe shape. You need to convert it to a pipe shape.
Endeavour 49er tree traffic is 10 o'clock 4 miles at flight level 350 Airbus A20N. Report them in sight.
Say 3 o'clock? $10 o'clock. See now, St. Lebowski.
Endeavour 49er
Check the weather
don't have the traffic.
at Indy real quick. Should be fine, but I won't check it. I didn't bother looking. I need an alternate.
Traffic is 9 o'clock 4 miles at flight level 330 Airbus A20N.
Have a look. There he is. Yeah, he's in sight.
Endeavour 49er Tree have the Airbus A20N in sight.
310 at 14. 10 statute miles broken. 7,000 feet. Yeah, so we don't need an alternate. You know, of course, for the flight planning stage, that's late, but, you know, it doesn't really matter. It's mostly me if I could add the alternate now if I needed to. 150 was fine. Alright, so that fixed the first valving on there. Yeah, I'm aware steam piston the two. Connecting them together gives some advantage. One and 0.9, so it's got a slip in there. That's probably why it probably cheats. It's probably glitching it. Putting a slip glitch in there. I'd rather not have a glitch in there. Yeah, I'd rather not glitch. I don't like glitching if I can avoid it. If you slip in a clutch in game, it's generally glitching. You know, there's sometimes I'll slip a clutch because essentially I'm trying to get an intermediary gear. That's the only time I'll slip a clutch is to get an intermediary gear. So like say you have a 9-to-1 gear ratio and you want 8.75, you could slip the clutch till you get it down to an 8.75. That's not really giving you an advantage, that's just reducing the gear ratio. I'll be right back, getting some coffee.
Endeavor 49er Tree, contact Cleveland Center on 120.4. Good day. Endeavor 49er Tree, did you hear my last transmission?
Where are we at there? 65 degrees.
Endeavor 49er Tree, acknowledge last transmission.
120 decimal for Endeavor 49er Tree. Goodbye. Cleveland Center Endeavor 49er Tree flight level 340.
I like going to the big blanket of clouds so just as long far as I can see.
Cleveland Center radar contact, continue.
Party. Yeah, that's why I usually don't do the flywheels, is it's pretty glitchy. You know, it makes sense. It makes sense in a truck. You know, like I put them in my trucks because you just. It's the reason why a truck is a big one. Is, you know, it makes it so that it conserves its energy and it doesn't change speed very fast, and it helps you. The heavier the engine, of course, the more torque you're gonna have when you're going from a stop. You know. Let's just check Stormworks and see how it looks here. All right, we're moving. See, look at the torque. Look at that torque on it. Nuts. Yeah, it's got me going even slower now. It might have to still speed up a little bit. Still building up steam pressure, but we're currently quite a bit slower. Yeah, I understand they have flywheels. Like, you know, I've seen like all the steam, you know, the steam boats and the like the farm tractors and everything. It's just that the way the game does it, it's not. It's kind of glitchy, you know. Yeah, it's because it's the way they did the code, and like they make it so that you can make essentially infinity generators by spamming, you know, flywheels. You know, the flywheel makes a lot of sense in a steam piston application, or even a turbine application, because it keeps it rotating in the same direction. You don't have to worry about it stalling out. Eventually, the steam pressure will build up high enough it starts the turbine moving or the piston moving, and then once it's moving, it stays moving. You know, and it's keep the maximal effort out of it. Yeah, that's gross. Get rid of that shit. I had a friggin' color that I liked for the sheets. I don't know what happened to it. Fix that at some point.
Cessna 3 Alpha Alpha traffic is 1 o'clock 4 miles at flight level 265 Airbus A20N. Report them in sight. Air Shuttle 609er 8 Heavy traffic is 9 o'clock 3 miles at flight level 230 Cessna Skyhawk. Report them in sight. Endeavour 49er Tree traffic is 2 o'clock 4 miles at flight level 370 Airbus A20N. Report them in sight. Cessna 3 Alpha Alpha have the Airbus A20N in sight.
Endeavour 49er Tree don't have the traffic.
Got somebody boot on Twitch for selling viewers. Let's see if I can't
Air Shuttle
report you a video.
609er 8 Heavy have the Cessna Skyhawk in sight. Endeavour 49er Tree contact Cleveland Center on 134.9er. Good day.
One tree 4.9er Endeavour 49er Tree. Goodbye. Cleveland Center Endeavour 49er Tree flight level 340.
Endeavour 49er Tree Cleveland Center radar contact continue.
We shall.
Endeavour 49er Tree traffic is 12 o'clock 4 miles at flight level 310 Airbus A20N. Report them in sight.
Leave nothing. They always give it to me late, and that's on one side or the other by the time he calls me. I'll look at my traffic scope, see where he is. He's right here off this left side here somewhere. He's right to our left now. I don't see him. Behind us now.
Endeavour 49 or Tree don't have the traffic.
Alright, what do I get time in there? 33 minutes, do I buy that? Yeah, probably. This 103 knot headwind's pretty strong. Yeah, that one got, one of them got auto banned. Yeah, that's the one I already kicked. The one that's in there. I think I kicked one and they auto kicked one. Nice if Twitch would get a hold of that. Looked like they had a hold of it for a little while. Alright, that's a little bit more dressing and up in there. We're going to be doing rescues out of here, so we want to do that. And then maybe a couch in here. Yeah, let's do that. Let's plan for the couch. Do I have the couch? I should pull the couch if I don't. I do have the couch. Gorgeous. Alright, good. Couch gonna be a pain in the ass because of the I could flip the door is what I'll do. Flip the door. Okay.
Endeavour 49er Tree contact Indianapolis Center on 124.45. Good day.
One 2.4.45 Endeavour 49er Tree. Goodbye. Indianapolis Center Endeavour 49er Tree flight level 340.
Endeavour 49er Tree Indianapolis Center radar contact continue to Bliss.
Bliss. That fleshes this room out a little bit. Need lighting throughout.
Indianapolis Center, Southwest 2620 Heavy, flight level 400. Southwest 2620 Heavy, Indianapolis Center, radar contact continue.
I'm not a fan of this color down here.
Delta 157-9er Heavy, contact Cleveland Center on 134.9er. Good day.
Like, show me a picture of your setup that you're getting 70 knots with. Like, what does your vehicle weigh, too? Like, my vehicle weighs 90,000, so it's also, like, it is quite big, it's quite heavy. Are you getting 70 knots with that, or what are you talking about, your snow vehicle? You talking about your sub, or what the hell are you talking about? It's hard to make apples-to-apples comparison. I don't know what you're actually talking about. Let's see. a monochromatic. I gotta play with the colors a little bit. Curious if I speed the sucker up a little bit, if we're gonna have battery problems. Back gearbox, let's try 4. I didn't mean to let go of it. I forget what the speed of, I don't have a linear speed on this. I forget what the speed I was getting on this before was. A little bit faster would be nice, just a little bit slow. Slower than I'd like, I'd say. I don't spend money very much, and
Endeavour 49er tree traffic is 2 o'clock 4 miles
time I
at
try
flight
to
level
talk.
320 Airbus A20N. Report them in sight.
I don't like to spend money
Endeavour
very often,
49er
but
tree.
I haven't
Don't
spent a lot of
Airbus
money
A20N
lately.
in sight.
And the the bank shut the card off. It's like, dude, leave my shit alone. I used to when I used to fly, it used to annoy me because like I was in a different city every couple hours, and so like the bank was trying to do you a favor, trying to do themselves a favor, frankly, but trying to do themselves a favor by shutting your credit card off before they had to pay for the fraud charges, and it's like, no man, it's me trying to buy lunch. Can you turn my card back on? And this was, you used to have to call them, so it was like a pain in the ass. God damn it, how's that being powered? I gotta have infinite electricity on because there's no way in Christ that got powered and it's electrified, so. And these aren't plugged in, so I gotta plug these in. That's off. I don't. How does that get power if there's no infinite electricity? I didn't hook up the electricity to that dial. All right, so that's normal speed. So we're looking at 3.3. 2.23, so 3.3 times 2.23. Fuck you, turn on. 3.3 times 2.23. That's 7.35 miles an hour, and then let's go ahead and switch it up. So not a lot of difference there. Let's see.
Tree traffic is 10 o'clock 4 miles at
Electricity's still good.
370 Airbus A20N. Report them in sight.
Going to be traffic alerts
Air
constantly.
Canada 582 heavy traffic is 10
What
o'clock
is
2
it,
miles
10?
at flight level
4?
335.
There it is right there.
Report them
Nowhere near me.
Endeavour 49er tree have the traffic.
Go real south on this and see what this
Air
looks like.
Canada 582 heavy have the in sight.
Let's go real south on this. Trying to keep the electrical usage down to a minimum. I don't want it ultra fast, but I also don't want it like stupidly slow. And I would like to keep the generator to a minimal size, so I don't want to have a huge generator in there. Try that. Alright, we're still building up there. What do I have the limiter on? That's something I gotta do too. Let's see, where's the limiter going? Right here. Let's try something.
American Tree 104 Heavy, contact Columbus approach on 125.905. Good day. Endeavor 49er Tree, contact Indianapolis Center on 120.475. Good day. 125.905 American Tree 104 Heavy. Goodbye.
120.475 Endeavor 49er Tree. Goodbye.
Generic 7 Papa Al.
Indianapolis Center Endeavor 49er Tree flight level 340.
Endeavor 49er Tree Indianapolis Center radar contact continue to empty.
That there is a little bit faster. That's about 10 miles an hour, but it's eating up battery, and then if we do 4, don't lose much speed. Are we building? We're still not building.
Indianapolis Center United 2228 Heavy is passing flight level 320, climbing flight level 360. United 2228 Heavy Indianapolis Center radar contact continue to use them.
Get back in a flight sim for a while. Alright, check up chat.
Frontier Flight Tree 986 Heavy, contact Indianapolis Center on 127.1.
Yeah, that's. I'm just trying to like figure out because like I'm trying to get the sub faster, and you have a 4-cylinder, and for example, like if your sub weighed what mine weighs and it's getting 70 knots, is something that I could be doing, to get it going faster. If mine weighs 3 times what yours weighs, it could very well just be, it's limited by that, so it's not, I'm not trying to compare it to yours, it's mostly just trying to get the data to see, it'd be like somebody has a pontoon boat and they say, well, my boat, goes 20 knots, and the other person will be like, well, my boat goes 100 knots, and you look and they have 3 times the power and a sleek hull and they hold 2 people, where your party boat holds 20 people and a grill, and, just kind of figure out what the kind of the purposes are of it. If I get like 20 to 30 knots out of the sub, that would be ideal, just because I want to be able to go do missions and have it kind of wait when you get there. Yeah, but I'm in no rush to finish anything. So. Why is this giving me a 20-minute arrival time? That's what I don't get. Seems like seems awfully optimistic. All right, let's do some briefing here. Might do a flight back if this is going to be the short. We'll see. Let's save up Stormworks and get out of Stormworks. I have no motivation to really play Stormworks right now. We'll see if I even get this done for the challenge. Oh yeah, I used to have to fight with the bank all the time when I was in the airports because it'd be like, well, we saw you were just here and then you were just there, and you know, it's like, yeah, I told you what I do for a living. Leave it alone. Fuck. Alright, let's do a brief. Alright, so we're right here, off of empty. Alright, let's see. So the Kling 7. So we're coming in off empty, as you can see us right here. I do not see any expected altitudes, it's just the way in. So let's see, landing at Indianapolis International. In the event of lost comms prior to runway assignment, execute the ILS 23 right approach. Routing, Klang, expect vectors to final approach course. So once we get to Klang, we'll expect final vectors. That's it. There's really nothing else on here. No mandatory altitudes or anything else. So pretty simple there. Alright, ILS localizer, runway 32 in Indianapolis. We would check the date. As you can see, this is out of date. 8 July 22, effective 14th July 22. But again, that works fine here. 110.5320, final approach course at Butler. We want to get glide slope intercept at 2,400 feet. The DA is 993 feet. Airport elevation is 796 feet. MSA is 3,100. Missed approach climb to 1,500, then climbing to right, turn to 3,000 direct VHP VOR on the outbound, 303 radial to Keedy intersection at DME of 4.9 VHP and hold. So that's depicted right here. So we would go out, we would go to 1,500 feet, then a right turn direct to the VHP. 3,000 feet, then we go out into 303. It's going to be a teardrop entry, so 45, return, back in, hold. Likely what we'll do if we have to go missed is we'll just ask for vectors back for another approach. Let's see. At Osmo, we want to be 4,500. At Butler, 2,400 for the glide slope intercept. 993 is going to be our DA again. If we do lose the glide slope, we'll revert to a localizer and we'll go to an MDA of 1,280 feet. That's the brief. Let's check, what's the runway? 32 is 7,274 feet. Let's see, where the hell is the terminal? Terminal's here. I think we can probably go hotel. So let's try to plan on a left turnout. Yeah, let's plan on a left turnout on hotel, and then I guess we might be able to take hotel all the way in. So let's plan on that. The raceway, I believe the raceway actually comes into the airport, so we'll look for that. I've been in here in a long time, but the race, of course, used to come in, I thought. All right, so we'll plan on that.
Good day.
All right, let's go ahead and we'll put in some V-speeds here. V-speeds are in. All right, we'll get ready for the descent checklist. What are we talking here? We have a about 800. So we'll talk 1,100 feet for
Endeavor 49er tree contact Indianapolis Center on
pressurization.
135.125. Good day.
That's our landing elevations in.
135.125 Endeavor 49er tree.
Let the
Goodbye.
flight attendant know. I didn't put the people down, but we'll shut it off for now. I'll put it right back on a second. I'll call the flight attendant. Every once in a while we get a call from the flight thing. Shut the seatbelts
Indianapolis
off.
Center, Endeavor 49er
They'd
tree
forget.
flight level 340.
Endeavor 49er Tree Indianapolis Center radar contact. Continue to Delta Quebec November.
You looking to get banned, schizophrenia? It can be done if you'd like.
Tower 5 Hotel Papa, you are 21 miles west. Descend and maintain 8,100 feet. Expect vectors visual runway 26 approach. Climb and maintain 8,100 feet. Expect vectors visual runway 26 approach. Tower 5 Hotel Papa. Tower 5 Hotel
they
Papa,
gonna ship
contact
my
Columbus
order?
approach on 118.425. Good day.
Get my
Endeavor
order.
49er Tree descend and maintain flight level 260.
260. There it is.
Descend and maintain flight level 260 Endeavor 49er
Pull that
tree.
power off. Get that in.
118.425 Tower 5 Hotel Papa. Goodbye. Indianapolis Center, generic November 9er 4 Mike Lima, flight level 260. Generic November 9er 4 Mike Lima, Indianapolis Center, radar contact, continue.
Alright, so what is it, broken? Broken scatter, let me look. See what the layer is here. So broken of 7,000, that's a ceiling layer. And so there's a broken at 23,000 as well. So those are two layers we're looking for here, as you can see. So you can see they call it a ceiling. Broken is the ceiling, or overcast. Overcast is the ceiling. Overcast is it's completely, there's no holes in it. You see broken, there's little holes in it, that's broken. This counts as a ceiling layer because you can imagine, yeah, you can see through, but it's not a lot of visibility. So when you're planning an alternate, for example, quickly you need 2,000 foot ceiling. So if the ceiling is less than 2,000 feet, you're going to need to have an alternate. And the reason is, like, if this was, let's say this was low down, you might get to a situation where you can't see the airport. Because, like, you can see these little holes, but all you're going to see is, if you're in it, is, you know, you're not going to be able to look straight down. So you need enough space you can look through it. That's 270 for 260. Seatbelt signs on. Alright, landing elevation set, fuel is checked, TCAS is on, our radar is off, CAS is checked. Landing data is set, approach brief complete, descent checklist complete. Today's a holiday. I was trying to get a bunch of stuff done, and I was like, oh no, first thing's closed. Then I went to a store that's usually super busy during weekends and holidays, and luckily I was able to get in and out without too much trouble.
Endeavor 49er tree descend and maintain 14,000 feet.
14,000.
Descend and maintain 14,000 feet. Endeavor 49er tree.
14,000. And then again, he should be giving me the altimeter setting, but he's not going to, so I'll poach it again. Meant to grab it.
Endeavor 49er tree, contact Indianapolis Center on 120.65. Good day.
.65 Endeavor 49er tree. Goodbye. Indianapolis Center Endeavor 49er tree is at flight level 240, descending 14,000 feet.
Endeavor 49er tree, Indianapolis Center radar contact. Continue to Mike India Echo.
MKE. Mickey. Can't you see? Trying to see what flights are out of Indianapolis. There's an Indy JFK. Yeah, it looks like Indy JFK. Let's do that one. We'll do it out. Yeah, Indianapolis JFK. I'll leave LaGuardia. I'll change up the picture and everything.
Delta 5 Sierra Alpha, you are 55 miles south. Climb and maintain 16,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 5 approach via Beetle transition. Clear to Beetle. Climb and maintain 16,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 5 approach via Beetle. Transition clear to Beetle Delta 5 Sierra Alpha.
Jeffries Airline. Alright, what the hell is it? 3008? 3008.
Cessna 51 Golf, descend and maintain 2,900 feet.
3008. 3008. All around.
Descend and maintain 2,900 feet, Cessna 51
That's
Golf.
15,000, 14,000.
Delta 5 Sierra Alpha traffic is 3 o'clock 4 miles at 14,100 feet. Report them in sight. Endeavour 49er tree traffic is 12 o'clock 3 miles at 11,300 feet Dahar TBM 9. Report them in sight.
Nah, I see them. They should be close. I don't see them.
Delta 5 Sierra Alpha
Close.
traffic in sight.
They're close and below me.
Cessna 11 Sierra, contact
See 'em on
Indianapolis
the
Center
scope right
on
here.
135.125.
Over there somewhere.
Good day.
Yep, speed. Takes a while for the turbines to spool, so you pull the thrust way back and then catches up and you try to catch it. You get close to an overspeed there. So I've got this gap in there on purpose. That's the difference between the arrival and the ILS. And we're gonna get vectors. It tells us we're gonna get vectors. So I don't want it connected because it's gonna automatically put me somewhere. So I expect the vector there. So I maintain the last heading until I get the vector. Get the vector, Victor. Roger, roger. Let's see, why the hell can't I highlight what I'm trying to highlight here? What the fuck is this doing? Oh, Christ, okay. Delete it all and fix it all. Okay. Trying to fix the, thumbnail. Do it later. I got a second, I'll quickly try to do it.
Endeavour 49er tree, descend and maintain 4,500 feet.
4,500.
Descend and maintain
I'm gonna
4,500
pull the power way
feet.
back in that one,
Endeavour
get slowed down because
tree.
we're gonna be going down. Quite a bit. We're gonna be going below 10. Spoilers. Yeah, a big part of it too is that prop. I think that prop is just enormous. Like they've been playing with that prop a bunch. It's just like
Endeavour 49er tree, you are tree 8 miles northeast. Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect ILS runway tree 2 approach via DC transition. Clear to DC.
Alright, 3-2 to C.
Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect ILS runway tree 2 approach via DC transition. Clear to DC Endeavour 49er tree.
American 29er 62 heavy contact Indianapolis Center on 119.55. Good day.
Alright, so I switched over to speed mode so that once we're under 10, we'll just go down.
Endeavour 49er tree contact Indy approach on 128.175.
250 knots.
Good day.
The spoilers to help me maintain a good descent rate.
Going to 128.175 Endeavor 49er tree.
Now, if I put the spoilers up, it's going to reduce my descent rate. So now we're ready to put the spoiler up, and you'll notice the descent rate will decrease because it's going to have to pick the nose up to maintain the speed.
Southeast of Muncie. Contact Muncie Tower on 120.1.
This is a weird vector she's giving us. Not too bad, actually. Should probably parallel it a little bit more. Alright, let's crack our...
120.1 Cessna 51 Golf.
Alright, track hours coming up. Indianapolis has farmland? Shock. Alright, bring up the approach. 110.5 we're looking for. Oh, look at how green. This is a weird turn. Did I switch over? I did not. Okay.
Indy approach Endeavor 49er tree 4,700 feet.
No speed. Too much.
Endeavor 49er tree, Indy approach altimeter 30.06 radar contact, continue to sea.
So there's the airport. That's not the airport. The airport's further away. You can see it. It's that empty space over there. You can kind of see it beyond that one right there. It's beyond that airport there. It's not this one ahead of us. It's over there. Having us go to DC is weird because it goes way the hell out there, and then it you know, we got like a huge turn here, so I'm gonna cut the corner of it, or I'll parallel it. I might parallel it. Wonder what airport that is. You can kind of see. I think this is Indy right here. I think that's the airport right there. Often you can't really see till you line up and aim at the runway because that's when you can see the lights. But usually, like at night, the airport's actually the dark spot, even though it's got all the lights. The lights only show in that one direction, that where you line up for the runway. I believe the racetrack goes into the airport. I'll see if I can find a satellite picture later. Let me see what airspace I'm in here. It's supposed to be 200 knots if I'm in Class Delta. See, I'm not in Class Delta though, so that's probably Charlie anyway. So we're going out to DC. It looks like they have planes coming in over there. Coming in like that. Speed up a little bit just to eat up some time. Yeah, I think the propeller is the main cause of that issue. Is it's like I'm running no flywheels, I'm not slipping the clutches, which is giving me kind of a weird advantage. And yeah, I want it to work, so I might go in some bullshit, but I'm just like not feeling like dicking into bullshit. I'm trying to get it done right. If I can't get it done right, I'll screw around. Oh, you put the large one on there? It's probably the flywheels helping out. Way speed now. I'm gonna check for traffic and then I'm gonna cut this corner. Yeah, I'm gonna cut this corner here. There's no need for me to go that far out, so I'll get a 45 off of Osmo, and then I'll head to Osmo. There's no point in having me go out to sea. It's just wasting fuel. They wouldn't have you do that unless you were trying to sequence in behind airplanes. Alright, so the ILS is in. You can see the blue is up. Check the radio. Let's see, 10.5, that's in and check, that's good. Okay. I'm just gonna go for another little couple minutes, or not quite a minute, but I'd say. Now we're turned into Osmo. There we go. Turn myself in. Oh, interesting. Pull the flywheels and see what they're getting for performance. Like, I don't know what I can, like, you know, I've got the 8 pistons on there, and they're at, you know, I had them up to 59 plus atmospheres, so they were at max. You know, and it's got a lot of high, it's got a high gear, like it's got an insane gear. It's got like a 235 to 1 gear ratio on it. I've tested other gear ratios. It doesn't really change it. All it's doing is the pistons are picking up the slack. So like if you do a lower gear ratio, all it's doing is the pistons move faster and the propeller moves the same speed. So I don't know. I haven't played with it too much either. I spent a bunch of time just trying to get the nuke the way I wanted it. Yeah, I've only been to India a couple times. The last I remembered, yeah, it does, like the gear ratios don't do a ton because what it's doing is it's eventually slowing down the pistons, and it's so like you're slowing down the pistons, and it's you're still getting the same essentially output value. So it really like tried a bunch of gearing, and it pretty much gives me the same results. It's just changing how fast the pistons are spinning.
Endeavor 49er tree keep speed not above 210 knots.
I'm going like 300 knots.
Keep speed not above 210 knots. Endeavor 49er tree.
Gotta kill time here.
Endeavor 49er tree, you are 20 miles east of Indianapolis. Contact Indy Tower on 120.9er when inbound.
Tower on 120.9er.
Traffic right in
Endeavor
front of me
49er
here.
tree.
I see the airport there. Trying not to catch this traffic here. Start slowing down. I gotta get slowed down so I don't catch this traffic in front of me. It's the only traffic I don't want to go around. Alright, landing gear's coming down. Flap. Using gear and flap to slow me down here. Alright, I'm in heading mode now, and I've got nav armed, so as soon as the glide slope starts coming in, it should grab it. Now, it's supposed to be tower when we are inbound, so I'm waiting to be inbound here. Flight attendants advised passenger signs are on, thrust reversers are armed, landing gear is down 3 and slats, flaps set to 45 before lane check is complete. There's that traffic giving them some space. Alright, we're inbound.
49er tree heavy altimeter 30.08 when 301 at 8. Cleared for takeoff runway 2 tree left.
We are about to land. Please remain
That might be the Endeavor that, shit, I'm slow. That might be the Endeavor that, actually did
Indy
this
Tower
flight.
Endeavor 49er tree 15 miles southeast inbound ILS runway tree 2 approach.
Endeavor 49er tree Indy Tower. Altimeter tree 0.08, wind tree 01 and 8. Cleared ILS runway tree 2 approach.
Cleared ILS runway tree 2 approach Endeavor 49er tree.
Alright, I got myself some space now with this dude.
Southwest 706 heavy, wind tree 01 and 8. Cleared to land
It's
runway
always
tree
really
2.
late on joining the course. It should have already been turning.
Cleared to land runway tree 2.
See, it
Southwest
blows through the
706
course a
heavy.
little bit.
Cleared for takeoff runway
See how much
23
thrust
left,
I
Endeavor
need to just
49er tree
maintain
heavy.
speed with flaps and gear out? And that's why you have flaps and gear, so that you can actually get some speed on. You need so much thrust to overcome all the drag of it all. And what are we going down to here? 2,400. Fucking can't see. $2,400. All right.
Indy Tower lift 674 ready for IFR departure, runway 2 tree right. Lift 674 altimeter tree 0.08, wind tree 01 and 8. Cleared for takeoff, runway 2 tree right.
All right, so we're descending down to 2,400 on our way to Butler. $21 knots without the flywheel, yeah, makes sense. If I have to do a bunch of chicanery to get what I want, I'll do it. Yeah. But I'm just like, I'm not too interested in playing at the moment anyway, so I'm not going through too much of it. I think the racetrack, like I said, is right at the airport. I'm not sure.
Southwest 706 heavy, turn next taxiway.
You see radar altimeter starting to hit the ground right there. You'll see the green pop up. There it is as it bounces off the ground.
Going to 121.8 Southwest 706 heavy.
I wonder what speed some of these in-game airplanes are approaching at, because they're so fast on approach. What is my descent rate? Okay, it's on glide slope. It grabbed the high glide slope because it was already armed. I was wondering why it wouldn't go down to my 2004 as fast as I wanted. It grabbed the high glide slope, so it's all right. It looks like it's still on. It still looks like it's the regular glide slope, not the actual false glide slope, so. Houses, what do you got there? Fields. Town.
Endeavor 49er tree wind tree 01 and 8. Cleared to land runway tree 2.
Cleared to land runway tree 2 Endeavor 49er tree.
Go to land. Could do this too. Where's the button for it? There's. don't know if I like it or not. So there's my localizer there. There's my glide slope there. You can see it there. So I want to put that, get that glide slope back, that localizer back on. See, kind of the compass is blocking the runway for me, but I can see the glide slope a little bit better with the HUD on.
1,000.
You need the HUD for Cat 2, was it Cat 3? I can't remember. I've never done them. We didn't have HUDs. You see that circle is where we're aiming at, so put that right on the numbers there, or right on the aiming bars rather. Probably be a little bit high here, if I don't correct. So now I'm correcting using that that ball.
Sink rate.
Stop.
500.
Trying to get back on glide slope. Be quiet.
Sink rate. 400.
There we go. Back on glide slope. First time using the HUD. You be quiet. A little bit of a left crosswind. You feel it. We're on glide slope, and those power cables look very high. Jesus Christ. Those look very high, and we're on glide slope.
200.
This is screwy. That looks super high, those antennas, those power lines.
100. Sink rate. 40. 30.
I think
20.
the HUD's more distracting to me than anything. Yeah, it's distracting as shit. Let's see if we can get rid of it. How do I get rid of it? Right there? There we go. It's just distracting the shit out of me. I think this is probably hotel here.
Endeavor 49er tree exit runway when able.
Yeah, this is hotel. Give me the mouse.
Endeavor 49er tree contact ground on 121.9er.
HUD is so distracting. Get used to it, I imagine.
121.9er Endeavor 49er tree. Goodbye.
Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop.
Indy ground Endeavor 49er tree request taxi to the gate.
Endeavor 49er tree taxi to gate 27 via taxiway Alpha.
Taxiing to gate 27 using taxiway Alpha Endeavor 49er tree.
Alpha. Why am I going Alpha? Okay, I bet it's just mislabeled the numbers. What is this? I gotta make sure I can taxi straight. I can taxi straight ahead. Just doesn't make any sense. I don't know why I wouldn't use this one. Is that the racetrack over there? I'll look at the satellite. I could have sworn the racetrack is like right by the airport. It even goes into the airport. I thought that it went like under the runway. I thought it was like some gimmicky stuff. That looks like an old, I think that's an old runway right there. I'm looking on the diagram. Looks like an old runway sitting right there. Alright, let's see, APU is on. Transponder is off. Slats flaps are set to 0, lights are set, and probes can come off. I was shut down 2. Alright, 2's coming down. Yeah, I don't know if we're supposed to be taxiing on this, but I don't see why not. It's fine to me. It's kind of a weird runway setup and weird terminal. Yeah, the benefit of this, you don't have to cross any runways. Because it's like, there's 3 runways and it kind of boxes in the terminal. Yeah, it says Alpha. Alpha doesn't make any sense because if it was Alpha, they'd have to give us a clear to cross. And they didn't say anything, so likely that's not where they wanted us. Let's see what this is here. We got... I'm looking for vehicles. We got vehicles up here. We'll go up there. A weird airport. The layout is kind of strange. Yeah, we'll go up where this catering truck is and the pushback tug. Alright, let's go ahead and set up for the next flight. Alright. Let's see, I'm trying to decide if I want to do another 2 hours or not. Let's not. Let's go ahead and we'll call it there. That was about 2.5 hours. Catch up with chat first here. Yeah, so I think we'll finish up there, guys. So thanks for watching. If you liked the video, make sure you like the video. If you're new and you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. And I will see you guys in the next one.